Hello. Sound check. Hello. Sound check. Hello. Mic test. 1, 2, 3. Guys, can you hear my voice very clearly? I need some feedback from the community. We are still waiting for Joseph to come into our room. Okay, thank you for the feedback. Still have less than 5 minutes. So I want to make a quick shout out to our early birds for today's AMA. We have Sriman, Suresh Haksor, Cornelius V, of course, one of my OGs, Ayami F, hello. Chippy Mint, welcome back. Chris Braun, Monas V57, Shan Orpilla, hello. So I know some of you guys have attended last night's AMA with Sports Chain, so it was a successful one. And of course, congratulations to our winners last night for the top 5 AMA. So for those of you who haven't won last night, you'll have a second chance right now with the Legends of Aria. So Legends of Aria, guys, is already an established game. You can play it on Steam, actually. So it is popular MMORPG. And I'm so glad that they have, they have decided to, to explore the play-to-earn NFT space. So this is really good. Hello again, Harding AL27 Fuang, hello. Thanks for attending today's AMA. And also last night with Sports Chain. And of course, another spoiler for you guys next week. Next week, Thursday, we have another live AMA. So stay tuned for the official announcement. Hello, Bullish. So yeah, 2 minutes. We're still waiting for Joseph. the CEO of the Legends of Aria. So usually, my AMAs like that my default time was 1 p.m. UTC, but we are a little bit early, as he requested. So yeah, here we are. I just finished my dinner and having some iced coffee right now. Min Trong, hello. How are you today? How are you guys today? Wherever you are in the world, guys, we have different time zones, but what really matters is that we're finally here. It's one of the most anticipated MMORPGs to be fully integrated into the play to earn NFT space. So yeah, I'm really excited for this, especially that they're already on Steam. So yeah, we will be learning more from Joseph himself, the CEO of Legends of Aria. And of course, guys, for the giveaway, top 5 AMA questions will get $20 USDC each. It will be on the Polygon mainnet. So make sure that your wallet address, if you're one of the winners, it must support the Polygon mainnet. It should be on the non-custodial wallet. And of course, guys, our official partner this time is Wayspad. So just simply head over to wayspad.tech, okay, for more information about their launchpad. So Legends of Aria is currently having an IDO with Wayspad right now. So if you want to participate, just simply head over to Wayspad, which is our official partner for this AMA. Hello, South Pin. Good evening. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, wait. He is asking for the link, so I'm going to share the link. Let's see. Okay. Just wait a moment, guys. I'm sending him the link. Just a little bit, guys. Okay. Joseph is asking for the Zoom link. Jonathan, hey, hello, bro. You are so very supportive on Facebook. Thank you. Scott, hello. Thanks for being here. Okay, so Joseph is coming in.
Yo, yo.
Oh yeah, he's here. Okay.
Yo, how's it going?
Hello, Joseph. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I just finished my dinner right now. Did you see our live link on YouTube right now? I have shared to you the YouTube link.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it.
Yeah. So yeah, we have 13 people watching right now. You might want to say hello to them first.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're excited to hear a little bit about Legends of Aria and what we're building.
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is very nice. This is going to be an awesome discussion because especially for those of you who are truly fans of playing MMORPGs, so yeah, let's learn from our guest speaker for tonight. Okay. So Joseph, have you reviewed all the questions that I have sent you?
Yeah, I skimmed them, but happy to answer them all on the fly and get things rolling whenever you're ready.
Okay. So to recap, we have three segments. So of course, the our first segment would be, you introduce first the Legends of Aria, and then the second will be the Q&A portion from me, and
Sure.
then the final segment, of course, AMA with the community. Okay.
Sounds great. All right, you want me to kick things off?
All right. So okay. So
Yeah.
I think we're all set. So are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. And also, to those of you who are watching us right now on YouTube, so guys, are you ready? I hope you guys do. Okay. So let's start our live AMA in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good day, good afternoon, good evening to all of you, wherever you are in the world. So once again, this is yours truly, Jeff Caceres, also known as Nomad Fury, and we're back once again for another live edition of the Nomads podcast. So guys, our special guest for today is, of course, the CEO of the Legends of Aria MMORPG. So please welcome to the show, Mr. Joseph Rubin.
Hey, Nomad, thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Okay. And also, I would like to say hello to all of our subscribers and viewers who are tuning in to us live right here on YouTube. Okay. So we will be learning more coming from Joseph on what Legends of Aria is all about. Okay. So just a reminder, guys, our giveaway is $20 USDC each for the top 5 AMA questions under the Polygon minute. So make sure if you're one of the winners, your wallet must support Polygon, and it should be non-custodial. And guys, please don't spam our live chat so you won't get muted or kicked out by the bot. And of course, please reserve your questions after my segment is over. Okay. So Joseph, are we all set?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So let's go for our first segment. So first you have to introduce what Legends of Aria is all about. So the floor is yours.
So Legends of Aria is all about these classic MMORPG experience with more modern graphics. So it was inspired by games like RuneScape and Ultima Online, and it was designed to be, an improved version of those games. So for those not familiar, MMORPGs are these massive open world games. You can do lots of things, whatever you really choose. And so on our game, there's 30 plus skills you can train, lots of cool features like player housing. So you can build a house in the game and decorate it however you choose. And then we've got PvP and PvE combat. PvE referring to you can hunt down monsters and, collect rare items. And with this pivot to the blockchain, those rare items can be minted into NFTs, and you can, collect some cool stuff that could provide you real value if you sell it.
All right. So thank you so much, Joseph, for that wonderful introduction. So before we head over to the Q&A portion, of course, I would like to let you all know that our official partner for this live AMA is no other than Wayspad. So just simply head over to Wayspad.tech for more information. Okay. So now let's start with our second segment, which is a Q&A portion. Now, Joseph, how did you get introduced into the crypto and blockchain space, and what inspired you to pursue this industry?
Sure. So I got introduced in 2017 when a buddy of mine was showing me some charts and telling me how he made like 100x or 200x off of some one of the top coins at the time. I think it was IOTA. So he was one of the first, investors in that and really cashed out. And so that definitely piqued my interest, hearing ridiculous returns over something new. It got me interested. And then I'd say I kind of had a close eye on the space and tried my hand at various projects before coming across this, GameFi genre with the advent of NFT gaming this past year, which I think gaming and NFTs are, a match made in heaven. And I'm a lifelong gamer. I've always wanted to try and resell assets in certain games I played, like World of Warcraft and Ultima Online, and that's why I'm here.
All right. So at least we get to know more a bit about you, Joseph, on how you got introduced into the crypto and blockchain space. So thank you so much. So it's great to meet you, by the way. So going to our next question, what is currently the mission and vision of the Legends of Aria?
Yeah, what we want to do is be one of the top tier, gaming projects. We're starting point for this project is an already fully featured MMORPG, so I think we're far ahead of lots of other potential competitors. We do want to be the top MMORPG in the blockchain space, and given that there are really no 3D MMORPGs out there on the blockchain, we'll likely be the first. And yeah, we just want to try and take over and make Legends of Aria a household name. Most people have really never heard of the game, and that's because we really haven't put much into marketing, if at all. So with this pivot to the blockchain, we should be able to kick things into full gear, get it much more attention and love than it has had previously.
Okay, so at least you've shared to us, Joseph, about the amazing mission and vision of the Legends of Aria. So thank you so much for that. Okay, now for our next question, I see that Legends of Aria has been around for years and can be played for free via Steam, correct? So, guys, what made you decide for Legends of Aria to enter the play to earn NFT space?
Sure. So the game always had a demand for real money transactions. People have been trying to sell their assets in the game on these third party black market sites for a while. But as a company, there's a need to crack down on those. Even top tier MMORPGs like World of Warcraft and most gaming companies don't allow for the resale of assets, just due to the fact that players can get like scammed, or lots of policing needs to go involved. Let's say somebody, they've got an account, they sell their asset, and then they reclaim that account that the asset's connected to and take back their asset after they get the money. So there's lots of ways that things can go wrong with just real money transactions. But with the advent of NFTs and smart contracts and this new tech, we can allow for the trustless sale of their assets, where everything in their ownership of these assets is verifiable. And so that's why I think it's a perfect match. We've been looking for something like this for these types of games, and it's a great fit. And so we're kind of reworking our business model around those. There's no longer going to be a monthly subscription fee. All you need to play the game is just pay a one-time cost for your character, which is just $10. You can play as much as you like, and we the company make money off of the resale of assets.
All right, so at least we've learned from you, Joseph, on why you choose to explore the play to earn NFT space for the Legends of Arya. Okay, so it's great to know. So thank you so much for that. Okay, now speaking of the game, by the way, so your main utility token is the Arya token. Now, Joseph, could you share about the use cases and fundamentals of Arya token to be used in the Legends of Aria MMORPG?
Yeah, sure. Just a caveat, all this utility is also in our white paper. So if I forget anything, definitely dive into there. But it'll be used to govern our upcoming DAO. You can stake it, as well as use it as a purchase currency on our NFT marketplace. Then we've provided a lot of in-game use for the token as well. So Arya can be used in processes like our item merging system, pet breeding system, our item insurance system. Happy to dive into go deeper on those particular systems. But aside from that, it's also usable as a currency in our in-game store. What else? You can use it to get out of jail if you get stuck in jail. So we've got a new system built around criminals getting locked up, which I think is fascinating in itself. And if you want to start a guild, you'll need Arya to purchase a guild charter. And we're encouraging our entire community to buy it. And so we're going to require people, if you want to participate in a guild, or sorry, a community event, you'll need to hold a certain amount of Arya just to join.
Okay, so yeah, you have something to add?
No, I was just going to say that's it.
Okay. So at least you've shared to us about the use cases and fundamentals of Arya token while we are playing the Legends of Aria MMORPG. So thank you so much for that, Joseph. Okay, for the next question. So I know that there are so many blockchains that exist in the space right now, but why did you guys choose Solana blockchain for Arya? And are you open for Arya token to go multi-chain in the near future?
Yeah, I initially chose it because I think Solana has a great ecosystem. You know, we're kind of chain agnostic. As long as it's a low cost, low fee network, we can work there. But I do think the long-term plan for us is to be multi-chained. I'd like to move over to some EVM chains like Polygon, also discussing, Harmony. And yeah, I do want to also move to some zero fee networks like Scale or Immutable. I think that'll be really helpful for our users who are Web 2 gamers at heart mostly. And so this would take out a barrier for them to be able to mint their assets so they don't have to get it on an exchange and get the currency needed to mint those like Sol.
Okay, so at least we've learned from you, Joseph, on why did you choose Solana blockchain for Arya token. Okay, so thank you so much for that. All right, so for our next question, so yeah, I think this is one of those very important questions that we all need to know. So Joseph, could you share about the past and the recent achievements that you guys have from the beginning until now, including the strategic partners that you have on board?
Yeah, definitely a long roadmap, so can't touch on them all. The game started development in 2013. We released in 2020. At one point we had 30,000 plus monthly active users, and that's all with just no marketing budget, all grassroots word of mouth. So I think that's a good achievement in itself. Games still played today with around 5,000, 6,000 monthly users, even after we stopped development of it for a while. And yeah, the community is definitely excited about these upcoming plans to breathe, more life back into the game and make changes that they've been wanting. Aside from that, though, we just completed an NFT sale on Fractal, which sold out quite quickly. We're in the midst of a public sale, which is going particularly well too. So I think those are all great achievements. We're looking forward to the months ahead where we, get this game live with all the blockchain integrations and take things to the next level.
All right, so at least you'd share to us, Joseph, about the achievements that you guys have from the beginning until now, especially the partners that you have on board. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so before we head over to the next question, just a recap for those who have came in late in our live AMA with the Legends of Aria CEO, Mr. Joseph Rubin. Okay, so our giveaway is $20 USDC each for the top 5 AMA questions, and it's on the Polygon mainnet. So make sure that if you're one of the winners, of course, your wallet should be non-custodial and it should support the Polygon mainnet. And guys, please don't spam our live chat so that you won't get muted or kicked out by the bot. And of course, please reserve your questions for later after my Q&A segment is over, okay? So let's proceed now with the next question. Okay, Joseph, aside from the achievements that you guys have mentioned, so there are challenges as well. So Joseph, could you share some of the challenges that you and your team are facing these days and how you guys overcome these challenges?
I think the biggest challenge is the market conditions that we face. It's been tough to get the game the funding it deserves. This game is a great product that's generated 2 million plus in revenue over the past couple of years. And but given the bear market conditions, it's hard to bring in funds. Lots of people are much more conscientious where they put their money. So if we were launching this a year ago, we would likely raise ridiculous amounts of sums of money. And aside from that, I don't see any barriers on the technical side. The blockchain integration is relatively straightforward. The game's already there. We're just making tweaks and improvements. Then going to test that over the next couple of months. And so, yeah, I think we should be able to get, overcome that hurdle of funding once we get the game live, show proof of concept, get the users flowing in, and should be a much more appealing deal to potential equity investors.
Okay, so at least we've learned from you about how you overcome these challenges and also sharing them to us right here. So thank you so much for that. Now, Joseph, let's move on to our next question. Okay, so how do you see Legends of Aria in a few years from now when you are starting to integrate, the play to earn NFT concept?
Well, we're going to start integrating those concepts, over the next few months. So, and then, starting next year, early 2023, we're going to really drive in users. So a couple of years from now, we should have a game that looks almost nothing like the current game. Lots of new content, improved graphics, as well as new worlds added to it, and even potentially thinking of a slight rebrand. So I'm pretty bullish on the future. I think you'll see this up there alongside some of those top blockchain projects. Our game currently has the same amount of users as a game like Decentraland and the Sandbox. Both of those I read recently were less than 1,000 daily active users. So if you compare our project to those, I think it's a very appetizing deal. And yeah, I don't see anything stopping us from becoming one of the top in the GameFi market.
All right, so at least we've learned from you, Joseph. And how do you see Legends of Aria in a few years from now as a play to earn NFT MMORPG? So let's look forward to that. Okay, so let's proceed now with the final question for this Q&A session. So for those of you who are watching, hopefully that you have enjoyed our session here. So guys, get ready with your questions. Okay, now on to my final question. Joseph, could you give us some reasons on why we should not miss out on the Legends of Aria, especially that it's going to be a play to earn NFT MMORPG, and of course your ongoing IDO with various launch pads?
Yeah, I just think it's a great opportunity to get in and support the project at the ground floor. This I was just making those comparisons to those two other games that are some of the top in the space, and those both have a market cap around 1.5 billion. We're about to launch with a market cap around somewhere around 300,000 or a little less than that. So I just think that the comparison side by side, it might be a great opportunity for growth in our token price if there's equal demand and speculation over our tokens value for theirs. Might be worth noting too that our token's a deflationary currency. So anytime it's spent in those in-game systems that we discussed prior, we're going to burn the token. We don't want to be in the business of collecting our own currency to have to create sell pressure for that if we want to generate revenue. Instead, we've got other revenue streams, so we're just going to take those tokens out of circulation every day. So the more players we have using those systems, the more the supply should continually go down, which in terms of the economics there, I think could be pretty bullish for the potential value of the currency long term.
All right, at least we've learned from you on why we should not miss out the opportunity, for the Legends of Arya, as a play to earn NFT MMORPG. So let's look forward to that, Joseph. So thank you so much. So right now, our second segment is now officially finished. So our final segment for today, of course, we entertain the questions from the community. So I am going to read them one by one right here in our live chat. So, okay, first things first, coming from A&D Family Channel. Okay, so one of my OGs. So his question for you, Joseph, and I quote, MMORPG games typically feature a guild system for intense competitive gameplay where guilds compete for the best guild title. Can you tell us how the guild system works in the Legends of Aria?
Yeah, it's very similar to all those other MMORPGs. You can form a guild, these systems are already in the game, and you can declare war against other guilds or just raid and attack others, or you can hunt together in dungeons. I think guilds are some of the best parts of MMORPGs. They're definitely a big part of the end game too, where it's about farming the best items, competing in PvP, and it's always easiest to do that with a group. So this game is also, might be worth noting, a full loot PvP game, which is kind of niche in the MMORPG genre. It's also kind of cutthroat. You can kill other players, take their items, and so it does help to have people around to help you fend off attackers. There is safety in numbers there. And yeah, so I definitely recommend joining a guild. It's a great way to help you learn the game, share resources, and just overall increase the experience that you're having.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, A and D family channel. So thank you so much for participating. So before we head over to our next question, please take note that picking your questions right now, right here in the live chat, doesn't mean that you're already the winner automatically, because the team of Legends of Aria will be the ones to finalize the list of winners for later, okay, for the top 5 AMA questions. So let's continue, guys. So coming from Buddhi Awa, so his question for you, and I quote, have you guys reached out to any known gaming guild about partnership, such as scholarship, etc., or will you guys have your own system of scholarship?
Yeah, so we've reached out to a few gaming guilds. We've partnered with a couple as well, but this game I don't think lends itself, as people think, to that scholar manager model. There is no promise of earnings. You can collect these rare items, sell them for real money, but there's no in-game rewards currency that they can farm, similar to some of the forerunning Web3 games like Axie Infinity. So I don't know if it's the type of guild system meant for them, but it might be worth noting the reason for that is we want to focus on sustainability of our economy. And so we think just printing money, while it might lead to huge amounts of users, long term, it wouldn't bode well for the in-game economy. But yeah, thank you for the question.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Buddhi Awa. All right, thank you so much for participating. Okay, coming from Eric Bilig, so his question for you, and I quote, I see your roadmap that Legends of Aria will soon be launching the feature creator program in the 4th quarter. Would you please explain to us about this feature and how can the players get to be a part of this?
Yeah, so that's more so meant for people that are developers. So a creator program is for our community mods to create new content for the game, modifications to the game, and things they want to see put into it. And from there, they'll send us their proposals. We'll vet them, and if we put it into the game, we're going to reward them with a little bit of our Arya currency. So it's something that if the person asking the question wanted to join, they're welcome to submit work to get put into the game. Aside from that, it might be worth noting we might consider other things aside from just software development. If you want to create artwork or help on any front, we're open to the input. So if you're interested, maybe jump into our Discord, discord.gg/Legends of Aria, and let us know what you're looking to create.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Eric Bidig. So thank you so much for that. Now, let's move forward. Okay, coming from one of my OGs, Cornelius V. So, and I quote, is the storyline of the game based on the quest, or is it endless? Or can it be changed through community feedbacks and suggestions?
Well, thank you, Cornelius, for the question. So the storyline is not, based on a questing system. So it is very sandboxy in nature that you can determine whatever you want to do. It is kind of endless. Lots of different ways you can play and engage with the game. We do have some intro beginner quests just to get you started. And we do plan to add in an overarching main storyline for the game over the next couple of years, just to help with the teaching of certain things and just to get you to kind of explore a bit on your own. But one thing that, I will say is we always do want to take suggestions from our community. We've been doing that for the past few months, and that we've added a lot of community suggestions to our roadmap. And, I think the community will be the main drivers of the game. We'll be implementing what they want into the game, I think. And yeah, that's going to be the purpose of the DAO as well. Once we get that form to vote on what they want, what they don't want, and allow them to have a proper say in everything about Legends of Aria.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Cornelius V. So thank you so much for that. Now, for our next question, coming from NFT Zone. So his question, and I quote, what about the long-term plan for housing system and for what you call this, getting gold coin? For getting gold coin, can players develop their house?
Yeah, so that is how you'll develop your house, is by collecting gold and spending it. So the long-term plan for the housing system is to make customizable house building. Currently, you need to choose a house from a template of, I think it's 18 plus houses. And from there, though, you kind of can design and decorate the interior and exterior however you want, but the general mold is the same, which is why we want to have them have the ability to design every feature from scratch, kind of like The Sims. You choose where the walls go, where the stairs go. We're going to add in multi-level housing, basements, things of that nature. And yeah, those custom houses will be much more expensive. And so you will need to stack up some gold coins to be able to afford nice houses.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question. Okay, so thank you so much for that, NFT Zone. Okay, let's see what other questions did we have here. Coming from my fam. Okay, my fam. So his question for you, I quote, at a time when the market is currently on the downtrend right now, what difficulties that you guys encounter, and how does the team see this as an opportunity to develop the project?
Is this referring to the market?
Maybe.
Sorry, I can't see the questions. Yeah, similar to the answer I gave prior in the interview, the market conditions are definitely, one of the biggest difficulties that we're facing. Aside from that, the technical hurdles are pretty easy to overcome. Our game developers in total have over, 4 decades of experience with just our small, tiny team. And yeah, not too worried about any technical hurdles.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, my fam. So thank you so much. Now, coming from Art Minto, so and I quote, do you have any special requirements for use item merging option, and how can players insurance their item?
Yeah, so those are 2 different systems. The only requirement for the item merging system, which is a process where you can forge 2 items together to create a third, potentially more powerful item. It's you'll just need to spend a bit of Arya, and that Arya will also in turn be burnt. Regarding the item insurance, it's similar. You spend Arya to insure your set of items and weapons and armor. You might spend anywhere around $10 depending on what you insure. And it's I think the coolest feature of that is when you kill another player that has item insurance on, you might not be able to collect their items as a reward, but you'll collect part of that value that they spent on Arya as a bounty. So if they spent $10 for item insurance, you'll get half of that for killing them. So you can earn $5 for just killing players.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Art Mintu. So thank you so much for that. Now coming from Fawad, so his question for you, and I quote, "What are the plans for armor? Today it looks like there is a minimal difference in defense stats between leather and heavy. So Vanguard is nice, but you also have to blockings. This is what I have read this question. Yeah, Vanguard is
Yeah.
nice, but you also have to have blockings.
Yeah, I do think the armor needs to have kind of more customization, more stats, and so that's something we're going to add into the game. You can get rare pieces of weapons on armor, when farming mobs, killing monsters in the world. But that's one thing that before now and launch, we're kind of overhauling is the types of things you can collect from mobs, and almost balancing and trying to push people more towards farming in dungeons solely, just to make that where the action happens.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Fawad. So thank you so much for that. Okay, coming from Mintrong, so and I got, does Legends of Aria have any plans to prevent hacking, cheats, and anti-inflation?
Yeah, we've got lots of plans for that. I think one of the biggest benefits that we have too is that we've got a game that's been in development and battle tested for a while, so there are no dupes currently in the game. There is no way to kind of cheat the system internally. But with some of the blockchain stuff we're integrating, we're definitely going to have all our contracts audited. We're going to have it play tested before we go live and have bug bounties as well. And yeah, I think it's always a top of mind concern, security in a game that involves potentially real money. So we're going to be very cognizant of potential security issues. Another thing that we do plan to implement is most of the NFT transactions will take place through what we're calling the bridge stone. It's an object located in every town. That's how you'll mint your items from the in-game world to the blockchain. And that stone, we can put in monitoring protocols to flag anything that's really suspicious.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Mintrong. So thank you so much for participating. Okay, let's see. All right, which question did I haven't read yet? Okay. So wow, there are so many questions here, and okay. So I'm coming from Bullish. Okay, Bullish, yes. He said, and I quote, "Unlike other metaverse game, Legends of Aria operates one token system. Would you be rewarding in-game activity with this token? If yes, how will you control the supply of the token to avoid inflation?"
Yeah, so we're not rewarding people or promising rewards, and so there will be no inflation of Aria. There will actually just be deflation as it's spent is burned. We think that dual token model, or at least just any model that promises continually rewards and inflation, isn't built to last. And eventually the currency will collapse as people flood into the game and just pull value out of the game. Yeah, I do think there might be ways to integrate multiple tokens in the future, and if we would like to put an earning system into the game eventually, if we find a sustainable model. So that's why we're going to continue to study other games as we get going and see what works and what doesn't. And this one last thing to note is you can get some rewards of Aria by playing. So we will have community events where we'll give stuff out and giveaways. But aside from that, there's no guaranteed earnings per day. So if you're playing or planning to play just for that, unfortunately, you might not be too happy. But I do encourage you to check out the game regardless. It's fun. It's just a one-time cheap cost to get in, and you could potentially get rewarded for being an early adopter. There's value in the location of the real estate, so you can run in, claim a land piece as your own and place a house on it. And houses, closer to town tend to have more value. And we've seen some houses in the game sell for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on third-party sites quite commonly in the past couple of years before this whole craze of, NFT land.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Bullish. So thank you so much for that. Okay, and let's see. We have so many questions. All right. Coming from Huang. So he asked, and I quote, "I understand that in Legends of Aria, players can lose their items when their characters are killed, and that other players can literally loot my player's dead corpse." So his question is, are they going to claim my items as their own?
Yeah, they can claim your items as their own, and that's the purpose of the item insurance. If you've got something you really don't want to lose, you could insure it. But aside from that, it is a free for all. We're going to try and, though, make things less of an emotional toll in that respect by implementing ways you can get back similar items or weapons and armor pieces more quickly than other full loot games, just to make it so it's not a big loss as you might have thought.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Wang. So thank you so much for that. All right, so let's see which others that I haven't okay. Let's see. So coming from Sriman, so he asked this question, and I quote, "Nearly 90% of the investors only focused on the short-term token prices instead of understanding the project's actual value. So could you tell us the benefits of investors to hold Arya tokens for the long term?"
Sure. I do think regarding the value of the token, obviously we can't predict or promise huge returns or any returns if in that respect, but I made the comparison earlier to those two top tier gaming projects, both valued at 1.5 billion market cap, and us already having similar user numbers and user data to them. So I think if making that comparison, and given the fact that our token market cap is around 1/5000th of their value, you do have the potential to 5,000x if we did hit those numbers. But yeah, I do think it's not very intelligent to only focus on the token price, especially when there's no significant demand yet, like there will be once the game is live, which will be around December time. So I'd caution anybody to just focus on a quick trade and really dive into the project a bit deeper and understand that most of these projects in the space, we're not going to see their full potential yet until we see the entire market turn around. So which it'll likely be over 2 years till there's another bull market and a big run up on all these currencies. So I definitely try and stick around until then if you think you like our project, because that's when things could see some crazy numbers. But that's just my opinion.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Sriman. So thank you so much for that. Okay, coming from Shitu Abdulaziz. So he said it's an important question. So here it is. Many games don't support mobiles, and that reduces the attraction of many players around the world. Can I play Legends of Aria on mobile and on PC? Is there a version for Android?
Not yet, but we do have it on our roadmap. So early next year, we're going to try and push out a mobile build on Apple and Android devices. And yeah, I'm excited for that. I think that'll drive in a lot more users, and it should be a great addition to the game.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Ashitu Abdulaziz. So thank you so much. Now, next question coming from Dr. Rib. So he said, and I quote, "What advantages or benefits would these avatars present to its owners? Are these avatars also tradable?"
Yeah, they are tradable. So every character will be backed by an NFT, and you can then take that NFT and resell it on our marketplace at any point in time.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Dr. Rib. So thank you so much for that. Now, next one coming from Gold D. Rogers. So, and I quote, "According to you, what are the fundamental elements that will define a successful game? And is Legends of Aria confident to say you will be successful?"
Yeah, I do think we've already had some degree of success already. The game has been around for a couple of years, with a very limited budget. So it's been a success in its own as an indie MMORPG. We do want to try and take things to the next level over the next few years, improving lots of elements of the game to take it up to more modern day, as people call quote unquote AAA standards. But aside from that, I think success will be determined just by user numbers staying around and providing a great experience for our community. There's lots of people that have been with us since the beginning and is still a part of our community, and they just want to keep seeing the game progress. So as long as we can keep it alive, that's a success in our book.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Gold D. Rogers. So thank you so much for that question. Okay, let's see which of these that I haven't yet entertained. Okay, let's see. Coming from Chumi. So her question for you, and I quote, "What is the best way to keep my items past death? How possible is it for me to keep my items with me until I resurrect my character? How can I do this?"
Yeah, the item insurance system is the best way and likely the only way. The other potential avenue is just try not to die. There's ways you can avoid these murderers that are coming to attack you, and one of those is the recall spell. So you can teleport away to a marked location if you can cast that spell in time. And yeah, I just caution you, or provide the suggestion again, to try and get in a group, a guild, to help you out and teach you about the game, and as well as share resources. So if you die and lose items, they can give you new items. It's something that's really awesome about guild culture, is just the sharing elements.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Chumi. So thank you so much for that question. Okay, coming from We Can See. Okay. This question for you, and I quote, "Do you have any plans to retain and increase the number of users? And what are your strategies that you're using to attract gamers, especially those who are not yet into NFTs?"
Yeah, I'd say most of our community is already people that aren't into NFTs, and we've kind of been converting them over a bit. If you check out our Discord, lots of them are interested in learning. But our main focus is onboarding Web2 gamers. I think one of the biggest pieces of that puzzle will be the fact that we're not forcing the blockchain elements on them, and we're not even going to advertise as a blockchain game long term. It's more so going to be, they just come in, they'll see an ad about us, and they can sign up with their email, pay with a credit card, and just get going. It's only when they need to mint an asset or try and resell an asset that they'll have to do a little bit of learning on the blockchain side of things. But yeah, in terms of marketing and user acquisition, we're going to try and do lots of PvP competitions, try and break Legends of Aria into the esports arena, because I think that's an awesome way to showcase games, as well as just getting Twitch streamers, or streamers in general to showcase the game, show off the gameplay, watch themselves playing. And then, as I mentioned prior, just advertising. So one thing about the game is it's never been advertised. No marketing campaigns ever performed. So it should be interesting to finally get people aware of the game and excited about the future. And I think the user numbers will follow as, we get all that in motion.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. We can see. So thank you so much for that question. Okay. Coming from Nafisa Kanom. Okay. So her question for you, and I quote, as what I have understand, I would like to rephrase this question, by the way, regarding the Legends of Aria. What inspired you in what inspired you in using that name Legends of Aria, in which it's an eye-catching name? So where is that inspiration come from?
Yeah, I don't think I can give you a great answer right off the bat. I joined the team more recently. So I joined this past year, but the game's been in development since 2013, and the rebrand to Legends of Aria was, around the middle of the last decade. And I just think it might have been a cool name, speculating on that. But who knows? One thing that we're considering doing in the future is also a rebrand away from that, given that there's a lot of games popping up now called Legends of this, Legends of that. So I don't know if it's very unique anymore. So we'll see. At the end of the day, what matters is the gameplay, the community. The name, the brand isn't the biggest focus yet. But yeah, I do want to add in lots of lore to the game and bring in, kind of a better backstory to hopefully maybe get us, to be a better story and name in that. But appreciate the question.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Miss Nafisa Kanom. So thank you so much for participating. Okay, now coming from let's see. We still have 10 more minutes, guys. Okay, so we have 10 more minutes before we wrap this up. So let's maximize this one. Okay. Coming from Tan Motko. I don't know how to pronounce this. I think this is Vietnamese name. His question for you, and I quote, which kind of equipment can players create within Legends of Aria as second generation? And what are the differences with the first generation?
This is referring to the players, I'm assuming, because yeah. So yeah, we did release an NFT collection of these Gen Zeros, this initial generation of characters. So those have some unique perks and benefits over other characters. Nothing really too advantageous. I think the biggest perk is just 200% skill gain, so you can increase your character's skills a bit faster. But aside from that, there's not many differences. They'll start out with their own armor sets and skills increased a bit and get rewarded with some airdrops. But in terms of the items you craft, I think that might have been part of the question. There's tons of things you can create in the game. There's tons of crafting skills. So you can use carpentry skill to take wood and craft furniture items for your house, or craft bows and any wood products really, as well as blacksmithy to allow you to craft metal weapons and armor. And lots of cool crafting elements and skills in the game that I definitely encourage you to check out.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Tanmot. Cool. So thank you so much for that. Now coming from Suresh Haksor. So his question for you, and I quote, security is at the forefront of all old and new projects. Attacks are frequent, and even with the best known blockchains. Now, how does your project prevent this from happening?
Sure. We did touch on security as well, but you mentioned the best known blockchains. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, but I think the biggest security issues lie around bridges. So we're going to be very cautious with any bridges we set up. we likely won't set it up ourselves and just use a partner of a secure bridge already. And yeah, I do think a lot of the security errors, are human errors. There's not necessarily big flaws in the code, but for example, the Axie Infinity Ronin attack where they lost like $600 million, the issue came down to, one of their engineers opened up a file and allowed malware to be installed on his device, and they took control of those 9 validators. So I think that was another big concern, is only having 9 validators on a blockchain network. You need hundreds. It's got to be decentralized completely to have that full security that the blockchain can provide.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Suresh Haksar. So thank you so much for asking. Now I'm coming from Harding AL27. So, and I quote, how many accounts can one device play? And will the country policy harm users in that country? Maybe in a specific country?
One device. So there's really no need to play with more than one account. So you can have as many characters as you want on one account. Technically, you could have multiple accounts on one device, and that's fine. We do want people to also, play with their families or friends in the same household. So we'll try and encourage that. The only thing that we kind of crack down on, that it's often coming from the same IP, is a thing called multi-boxing, which is a term that refers to one person having multiple windows open of the game, where you're controlling like 5 characters at a time with just yourself. So that can be, very advantageous to them, because they could cast 5 of the same spell and just instantly kill anyone who they come across. But it's really not fair to have, one person have that advantage. So that we won't allow that in the game, and we'll flag and warn accounts like that and potentially ban repeat offenders.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Harding AL27. So thank you so much for that. So guys, we still have 5 more minutes before we wrap this up. So let's entertain a few more questions. Okay. Let's see. Coming from Tasha Kirana. So, and I quote, at times like this, DeFi is of a little use because no one wants to farm in a currency that loses value all the time. So how does Legend of Aria deal with this problem? Do you have some kind of a staking or a DeFi feature for that?
Yeah, we will have staking for Arya currency, and so that'll give you some potential rewards just for locking it up. But I think DeFi is the foundation of GameFi, so we wouldn't be where we are without it. And open to any ideas on that front.
Okay, so hopefully this answers your question, Natasha Kirana. So thank you so much for participating. Okay, so we will be entertaining a few more questions. Okay, coming from Rama Adisti. So his question for you, I quote, what is the Legends of Aria revenue model? How do you generate income or profit? So because there are so many projects, just want to talk about long-term vision and mission, but what are your short-term goals?
Yeah, our revenue primarily will come from taking a small percentage of all asset resales. Another big revenue milestone is an NFT collection we're planning. So currently in the game, there's only these human characters, and we plan to add a new race into the game that we're gonna be announcing, over the next couple of months. And so that should be a big revenue milestone. Aside from that, we're also going to keep the lights on by doing some fundraising rounds. We're trying to raise a pre-seed round currently. So any, equity investors watching, definitely reach out if this is remotely interesting. But if we don't get there, we'll definitely be closing a seed round once the game and the product's out there. And I think that'll be much easier to raise, given the fact that we'll have metrics to point to in terms of user numbers and the success of the game thus far.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Rama Adisti. So thank you so much for that. So we have 2 minutes more. Okay, coming from Abdul Rahim M. So his question for you, and I quote, you have mentioned that LOA is a multiplayer game. Now, how many players can participate in this multiplayer mode? Will people be able to chat among themselves while playing this game?
Yeah, there is a text chat currently, but we're going to add in voice chat as well. So, and that'll be, proximity voice chat just for the people around you. But I guess it would make sense as well to also add in guild and party voice chats too. So lots of ways you'll be able to communicate, and that we're going to encourage, players to collaborate within the game. And I think that's the best part of the game. It's just the multiplayer experience. Nobody wants to play an MMORPG by themselves. Even the best MMORPG, World of Warcraft, would be incredibly boring if it was just you long term.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Abdul Rahim. So thank you so much for that. So let's entertain one more question, just one more question. I know that there are so many participants here. Let's see. Which question is okay. All right, last question coming from Crypto India. Okay, so do you have a token burning plan to increase token value and attract investors to invest in the project?
Yeah, there is token burning, and the burns happen whenever the currency is spent in the in-game processes. So if you head over to our white paper, which is whitepaper.legendsofaria.com, you can see all the token utility on our site there. And any of those processes will burn it. And happy to answer any further questions that you guys have. If you want to jump into our Discord again, discord.gg/Legends of Aria. Definitely come check us out. And appreciate all the questions, guys.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Crypto India. So thank you so much for that. So guys, right now we are out of time. So sorry if I cannot cater all of the questions that you have right here on our live chat, but I would like to thank you so much, guys, for all of the support that you have from the beginning until today. So guys, so thank you so much for participating. But of course, just a reminder to everybody that picking your question right here in the live chat doesn't mean that you're already the automatic winner. So, the Legends of Aria team will be reviewing all of the questions right here in the live chat, and they are going to be the ones to decide on who will be the top 5, in the AMA questions who will take home $20 worth of USDC each, okay? So please head over to my Telegram for my official Telegram, of course, Nomad Fury official, for the announcement later on, okay? So guys, once again, thank you so much for your time and for your participation in our live AMA. So before we wrap this up, Joseph, do you have any parting words for our amazing subscribers and viewers and the supporters who are tuning in to our live AMA right now?
I just say definitely give us a look, check out the project. I think we're going to be doing big things over the next couple of years. So follow along. We're on social media at Legends of Aria. Lots of updates on our Twitter as well. That's where we post most of our official announcements. So yeah, give us a look. And I just wanted to also say, Nomad, thank you for hosting and for all the questions. And it's been a lot of fun. So looking forward to maybe doing it again sometime in the future.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest for today's live AMA. We have the CEO of the Legends of Aria MMORPG, Mr. Joseph Rubin. So once again, Joseph, thank you so much for your time here with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And also, I would like to say thank you to all of our subscribers, viewers, and supporters who are tuning into our live AMA with Joseph Rubin, the CEO of Legends of Aria. So if you want to know more, of course, I provided all the source links right here on my YouTube description. And also, I would like to thank Wayspad for being our official partner for this live AMA. So just simply head over to wayspad.tech for more information. And of course, guys, I would like to invite you all to smash the subscribe button, hit like, and turn on the notification bell for more videos, podcasts, and live AMAs regarding cryptos, play to earn, NFTs, metaverse, and so on. Okay, so from my freaking home studio, this is Jeff, aka Nomad Fury, and I'll see you all again next time. Thank you all for watching. Thank you.